Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We're not doctors, we don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
Episode 20.
Yay! Hi, John.
Hello, Emily. How are you doing?
Good.
Last week was quite eventful.
It was. For anybody who caught the live, apparently, my phone call with my mom that came while we were recording got picked up. And I didn't realize that I didn't mute the live video on Facebook. So everybody got to hear my side of the conversation.
Except
and I
me.
thought I had muted it.
You muted me.
I muted you. You
right.
couldn't
I
hear
didn't
it.
hear it. Yeah.
I didn't realize everybody else could. So that was stressful. It was very stressful. I ended up throwing a lip gloss and breaking my monitor. There was like a big black stripe on it.
It would have hit me right in the chest. Right here.
Yeah. Well, you're on this monitor. The monitor I broke was on the other side. That's where my recording thing was. So like any pop-up that came up of like, do you want to save this? It was blocked by that black
I couldn't believe how
screen.
much it was broke. Like I thought there would be like a little black line. Like 1/3 of the screen was black.
No. And we got through the show and we didn't mention it on there. But it's funny that now I'm bringing it up because it will affect my weigh-in later in the show. Was just spiraled.
It was a trigger.
Yeah, it was my trigger. My mom is my trigger. My mom will, I seek comfort in food because my mom is my trigger. So that was the first part of my week. The second part wasn't bad. Again, every time I listen to the show to write the show notes on Sunday, and then when I re-listen to it again to make sure that I put up the right file and I didn't have it sped up or anything, it's fine. And then I get into that mindset of, oh yeah, I'm doing this for myself and it's something I want to do. But John, how was your week? Because you had a little visitor and you had a great time and you got off keto and intermittent fasting for 4 days. And you said you were good.
I didn't go as crazy as I thought I was going to go on. First of all, I have to do something here for the live feed because I lost a bet to the podcast. I shake my head with Lisa and Sam. I always wear a hat when we do this. I don't have a hat on today, so I have to put on my Toronto Blue Jays hat.
Your new Blue Jays hat.
My brand new Blue Jays hat. And the reason I have a brand new Blue Jays hat is because Samantha Sperling, Sam from the I Shake My Head, had flown into Philadelphia, and we spent 4 days together because I'm quite smitten with her. And we've been talking for 90 days, so it's actually became a podcast. We're like a podcast couple now.
I love that.
Yeah, it was great. We had an amazing time. We kind of did Philadelphia. We went down the shore, so there was cheesesteaks and pizza because when you're here, you have to have the pizza. And so we had all the things. I have a picture of her she got me an ice cream, and it was like, it looked like a traffic cone. That's how big it was. So, yeah, we did. We had an amazing time. I was still eating 2 meals a day, but my eating window was like a bay window. It was wide. Like we would eat at 2:00 and then we would eat at 8:00 because she was still on Saskatoon time, which is 2 hours behind.
Yeah.
So she was kind of on that. So anyhow, we had a great time. It was really nice. When we go later on, I'll let you know what the damages was. The damages. I'm kind of glad that I braced everybody for this.
Yeah.
Because when I got on the scale today.
So there you are, Tubby.
But I look at it this way. Do you ever remember those commercials they used to have for American Express where it's bottle of wine, $9.
Yeah.
Movie. Okay, so for me it was plane ticket from Saskatoon, $500. Eating out for 8 meals, $500. Spending 4 days with your favorite person, priceless. Aww. So I would do that again.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she's probably red as a beet because she listens to this too.
Hi, Sam.
Oh, and she got to meet my family. We went to dinner because I have a 20-year-old daughter now, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yes. So we went to dinner. We went to Olive Garden.
Oh.
So that was, there was breadsticks and pasta and stuff like that. So yeah, I listen, when I was on a pass, I was on a pass. The carbs be damned, give me all of them. So yeah.
Did you, I've been asking people this when they go to Olive Garden now. Did you enjoy your entree?
Something, I'm trying to remember what my entree was. I am really trying to, it's not really good Italian food.
No, I don't think it's good. Their breadsticks are good. Their
The
salads
salad
are
is
good.
Right.
The soup is good. They used to have a lunch special that's like soup, breadsticks, and salad. And that's all I want from Olive Garden now. I miss their breadsticks, but I don't want to actually go and get a meal because their meals aren't good anymore. What? I don't know what happened.
No, and the funny thing is, where I live, there is an amazing Italian restaurant up the street, and I wanted to take them there because we had like 11 people, my kids, me, Sam, my stepdaughter, her boyfriend. So it was 11 of us. And I said, let's go to the other place because it's got better food. And my daughter, it was her birthday. She goes, no, I'd rather go to Olive Garden.
It's something about 20-year-olds because I was the same way when I was 20. Olive Garden was like the epitome of the best date, apparently, the best food. I think it's the never-ending breadsticks or something like that I thought was the greatest thing in the world.
You know what I had? I remember now. I had seafood, the seafood fettuccine, which was pretty good.
Okay.
It was pretty good, but not the best seafood fettuccine.
Yeah.
Like, I know it would have been better up the street, but I don't know. What do you do? So it was one of those kind of weekends. Sam also loves Dunkin' Donuts iced tea. They don't seem to have that in Canada.
Well, do they have Tim Hortons iced tea?
Yeah, but they don't have iced tea like they do here.
Oh. Well, you should take her down south to give her sweet tea because apparently that's the only tea that I might drink because it's all sugar.
It is. Well, like McDonald's has that sweet tea, and my youngest daughter drinks that. And I said, can't believe that it's so much sugar. It makes me jumpy.
Yeah.
But now I'm back to no sugar, no wheat, no processed flour stuff.
Now, when did she leave? Monday?
Tuesday morning, early Tuesday morning.
Tuesday. So are you hitting the keto flu again, or are you still in the beginning stages where it hasn't fully hit yet?
I'm not going to lie. It's been, like a lot of times when you try to get back on the wagon, you slip and bang your head.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of those, so I don't think my keto flu is going to start until after this. But I have this stuff here. I got it online. There's a guy, Dr. Berg, we talk about all the time. It's called Electrolyte powder. And I'll put a link in the notes for this.
Yeah.
And what it is, it's got potassium, magnesium, stuff like that. So you put that in water, you shake it up, you drink it. It's lemony. It's good. And it helps. So I'll be using that. And I'm really going to try to narrow the window. But I know that the thing is, when you first go back to the intermittent fasting, you kind of almost have to narrow the window. You just can't go right back to it. Because for some reason, for me, it spawns the binge eating and the eating way too much.
Well, that's actually part of it because what I've read about intermittent fasting is like the first few weeks, you have this freedom from regular dieting with intermittent fasting. And you're just like, oh, well, I have this window and I'm going to eat everything. And then after a few weeks, your appetite starts to correct itself naturally. And you just kind of have to listen to those signals in your body. And I realized that when I was doing it before Podcast Movement and I was doing it for weeks on end, I was like, I'm actually eating normal size, quote unquote, normal sized portions of food now because my body is just like, okay, I'm done. You know how we get bored doing anything else in the world except eating? Well, now we get bored eating. And so I want to get back to that because I keep falling off the wagon. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Well, one thing I did notice, and because I live alone, I'm my worst enemy, and I'm much better when I'm with someone. I will not step out a line if I'm with somebody. And it's weird because if I'm alone, then there's trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of trouble. So for me, I just have to remember to kind of stay. And then the group helps too. Dave Jackson was in here and of course, Dave Jackson, he knows the apps that get and stuff like that. And he had that one app about Zero and BodyFast.
Those are the ones he mentioned. He also mentioned, I think, Vero for Android is the other one that he mentioned.
Okay. And that helps try to get into that eating window. And again, here's the thing. Like I said, but there was a little vacation, and I don't plan on doing that again. But here it is. It's week 20, and we're still doing it, and we're going to continue to do it. So I don't think that I've had this much time where I've struggled and not quit. I would have quit by now.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I would have been off the diet. Like, I lost the 20 pounds that I promised myself every year I'm going to lose. I'm like, okay, just 20 pounds. I just have to lose 20 pounds. And I'm like, oh, I could just give up and like put that 20 pounds back on. And then January 1st, make the same promise to myself and then deal with the same 20 pounds again. But the thing is, I'm about about like 80 pounds heavier than I really want to be. And I just want to keep going. I want to be able to keep going. Hi, Lisa. Do you see what John's wearing on his head? Lisa just popped into our chat room. I wanted to make sure she sees.
I know. She's here to see if I'm a welcher on my bet. No, I'm not a welcher. I have the hat. So, I actually, be honest with you, I like the color. I like Blue Jays colors.
I think that blue looks good, looks really good on you. It brings out your eyes. If anybody would like to see John and me, you can come to the Hate to Wait discussion group on Facebook. We're live every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And maybe John will keep wearing the hat. It brings out the beautiful blue in your eyes. And
I think I will.
And Michelle said we look like twinsies today. We're both wearing blue V-necks.
It's true. So, so anyhow, being alone and staying on this diet for as long as I have in kind of a failure state, it just keeps, you just keep making a run at it, and then something happens and then you correct and make a run at it again. And then to watch like everybody in this group that's doing amazing, to me, it just keeps me more motivated and ready to continue on.
Yeah.
And so it'll happen. I know it will happen. It's going to happen now. I'll tell you that right now, because I almost died in Walmart. We went to Walmart to get some things for the house that apparently my house was lacking.
Oh, did she spruce up the bachelor pad?
She Samified the bachelor pad. Yes, she did. So we went to Walmart, and I thought about getting the cart to ride around in. Mm-hmm. But I didn't. I figured, well, what the heck? I'll just use the regular cart, and I'll use that almost as I put my weight on that thing and kind of used it as a walker.
Yeah.
And at one time, Sam looked over at me, and she said I was pale white, and she's like, "Are you going to pass out?" And I go, "I don't know. I'm not really sure." So we made it back to the truck and everything, and I got back in, and I was like, sweat was pouring off because it was so hot and humid here, and it was hot and humid in the store too. It wasn't really cold in the store, but doing that, because I think I put like almost 1,800 steps on. And for me, it was, for the next 3 days, it was just a lot of pain. So I got to figure out a way to exercise without putting pressure on my knees.
Well, the water thing, you were doing the pool thing for a while, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is working, but there's, I have that thing. It's called lymphedema with my legs. And sometimes when it breaks open, you can't go into a pool. So right now I'm on hold until that kind of clears up. Oh. So I got to find something else. So there you go. There's an overshare.
Well, no, it's good to know.
Right.
So there was a post on Instagram I came across, and I don't think I'm going to link to it in the show notes just because I feel very ambiguous about it. So the post it was one of those quote posts that people put up, and it says, "Let's please stop celebrating weight loss." Now, the person who posted this is a coach, and she's a body acceptance coach, which I'm for. I'm for body acceptance. That's fine. And then some of her reasons. So she puts this because now when people post these quotes or something, they do like basically a blog post in Instagram. And I ended up reading it to be like, she's like, for so many reasons. Here are a few. Number one, a person's worth is not based on their size, yet that is how we treat people in our culture. I agree with that. That's fine. Your worth is not based on that number on the scale. Fine. Or your size. But then the second thing she says, there's no proof that weight is the cause of disease.
Not sure I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm weird
I'm
about
not
that
sure
one.
I agree with that. I think too much weight leads to diabetes, or maybe the lifestyle does. Maybe it's a
I
hand in
think it's more
hand.
the lifestyle
The
where you gain the weight,
lifestyle.
but that's a weird thing to say. I think that's just a little too.
Yeah,
It's
I would
just
need more research on that. I don't think I
yeah.
agree with that.
It's a slippery slope. She says that treating weight is a band-aid solution and in some cases makes things much worse. I'm like, okay, makes things worse if they're dieting in an unhealthy way. I could see that. I don't know. I think it's just the wording of it that threw me off that I was like, well, can I still like it made me feel guilty for celebrating any weight loss and then I still get the guilt gaining weight. And I still get the guilt being the same way and seeing myself in pictures and being like, well, that's not what I looked like 5 years ago. Like, there's no winning now. I started reading her blog and seeing what else she was saying. She says things like, it's actually not a compliment when people say, have you lost weight? And I'm like,
Wow, you look great. You lost weight.
yeah,
I've been there because
I
it's like,
get
I
it.
looked like shit before. Thank you.
Right. And I get what she's saying. I don't know. There's something about this. I'll go to some of her other points. Number 3, and I agree with this, eating disorders are on the rise. Celebrating thinness and demonizing fat is contributing to this. I want more people to have common sense. I want them to have common sense and realize that the models and the people on TV are not real people. These are not the people that you see every day. If you walk around the street, nobody looks like that. And it took me years to realize that, to actually be like, I'm not just this giant blob in a sea of toothpicks. There are lots of people that look like me and you, John, but for some reason, just because they're on TV or they're on the internet, like we're so hyper focused on them. I don't know.
Well, see, okay. All right. The one thing I want to address is that, yes, maybe it doesn't cause disease, but like carrying too much weight will cause arthritis.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that firsthand. Sometimes I think people, I don't want to say they're trying to lose that last 20 and I think they look fantastic. And I don't even know if that last 20 would make them feel better about themselves. And I look at somebody and they say, like, I love it when they put up their before picture and then their after picture. And I'd say, I'd kill to look like before.
Right? I know.
Like, I'm never going to be an Abercrombie and Finch model. I'm never going to have 6-pack abs. I'm never not going to be a big guy because that's my body type. Okay. I don't care about any of that. I don't care if I'm a big, thick guy, as long as I'm healthy enough to move around and do things. That's my issue.
Right. And it's the healthy part. And it's, I do make kind of a big deal that I can't just go to a store and buy clothes in my size. And for me, that's important. I don't know. Just because I hate shopping. I really hate shopping. I just want convenience of being a size 16 or smaller because that's the majority of the sizes in stores.
To be honest with you, as the market grows, as more people start to gain weight, I've noticed that there is more clothes, more available clothes. Pricing for plus size clothing is going down because there's more of a market for it. Before, there wasn't, and you paid through the nose, and there was hardly anything that you could, this was like, here, fatty, try throwing that on. See if that can get that around you.
Well, I finally saw that one of my favorite stores I used to shop at when I would have to buy work clothes, New York and Company, they're finally offering XXL. Before, they were just extra small through extra large. And now I got an email from them and I finally opened it because I haven't opened them for years because I haven't been able to fit into their clothes. But I finally opened it and I saw XXL and I was like, oh, so this isn't just available online. Like I could actually go to the mall and go find my size in these clothes that I really like. And that excited me. But at the same time, I don't know. At the same time, I have that ambiguous thought of, but I shouldn't be that size because I wasn't that size for a long time. And it's weird. I feel weird being complacent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the statement is you have to be happy to lose weight. Losing weight will not make you happy. I do believe that. I do believe that 100%. Like if you think that last 20 pounds is going to make you find your soulmate or make you better at this or more confident. You really need to start looking at yourself and find out why you're not confident, because really that last 20 pounds is not going to make a difference.
Yeah, I almost think that this post is, it's correct. It has the right heart behind it, but it's not saying what people need to hear as far as, we want you to be healthy. You can accept your body for how it is, but you should also be the best you, or have a healthy lifestyle that's sustainable and not something that makes you miserable, I guess.
The problem is that when you are someone of size, because that's what we use now, someone of size, that's the first thing that someone sees, and that's the first thing that someone will go after you for. Mm-hmm. And it is one of the two still acceptable digs that people are allowed to make fun of. One is being ugly, and the other one is being overweight. If you're ugly and overweight, you picked a bad pill. What can I tell you?
No, you know what? Being quote unquote ugly and overweight, you can change that. But then there are just assholes out there who cannot change their personality, and we can't really focus on them as much because
that's what I was going to say is you can't see what they're thin, you can't see what's going on with them. Right. They could be a horrible human being. They could be, they could have all these other issues with them, but we don't just see it. It's not on the outside. And I get all that. And to be honest with you, it doesn't even bother me anymore. Here was the time that when I remember one time someone said something to me. It hurt my feelings, and I thought to myself, you know what? You're fat, okay? You are overweight, all right? So you might as well just accept that. And if you accept it, then they can't use that anymore. They can't go after you with that anymore. And the day that I did that, it really did not bother me if somebody went after me about my weight. Yeah. Then that would make me kind of know who that person was and then act accordingly.
I almost wonder if it's different for men and women too, because
I'm sure it probably will. Yes.
Yeah,
women are more, and I don't mean this as a dig. Women are more sensitive. You're the sensitive
the nurturer.
Gender. Yeah, you are. Yes. Well, yes, you are.
Well, I don't even mean in terms of how we take things, but how people present things. So I haven't had a fat joke made about me by somebody else that I could hear to my face since maybe 5th grade. I knew that people were talking about it, but I never heard it firsthand, because kids, before 5th grade, they'll just go up to you and be like, hey, you're fat. Meanwhile, I'm looking at pictures and I'm like, I was barely fat. Like, I was maybe 5 pounds heavier than this little asshole. Like, God.
Right. Like the time I was in the line in the supermarket and the kid goes, he's the fattest guy I've ever seen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And I thought to myself, and his mother was like, oh, you could see her face turn red. And she's like, I'm like, I'm probably the fattest guy he's ever seen. I don't know. Kids, they're so truthful. They're so truthful.
Well, and I've heard stories of people being like, my kid went up to me and said, how come you don't look like other moms? And then, when I drop off my kids, I'm like, oh, I do look like other moms, except I don't have this is like just for the town that I dropped my daughter off at school in. A lot of moms have that Kate Upton, I guess. I don't know. The can I speak to your manager haircut? And I'm just like, that's why I don't look like other moms, is because I don't have a reverse mullet going on, which, not to say there's anything wrong with that, but.
If you have one, dear listener, it's not really a good mullet. Sorry.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
You know why? Because you only see the front, and the front looks good, but at the back, it looks like they forgot what to do and they just cut it.
I'm sorry.
Am I lying?
We're reverse mullet shaming. I'm sorry.
Yes. But I mean, who started that? It was one of the Spice Girls, I think, started that. The one that was married to Beckham.
Posh Spice? Yeah.
Yeah. She started
I'm thinking of the one from Kate +8, and I don't remember her last name.
Oh, yeah. I don't either, but her name was Kate. Yeah, one of those.
I want to say Upton, but it's not Upton.
No, she definitely does not have a reverse mullet.
No. Not anymore.
No. So then I guess because I look at keto stuff, the first, when I go into my feed, a lot of stuff comes up. And the first thing that I see is, no one should be using the keto diet, says top U.S. cardiologist. And basically what they're saying here is that if you use the ketogenic diet, or it'll put you in ketosis. But the problem is it's good for short-term weight loss, but its effect over long-term weight loss will shorten your life. And I'm like, okay, what shortens your life more? Being morbidly obese or this diet? What's the worst? If you had to pick one, what would you pick? So then again, like I love these stories. So if you read down, you find out that this doctor is a vegan.
Oh.
So he's all plant-based. And then if you get all the way down, right, of course, they have the fabulous keto food pyramid here. So berries are at the very top because you don't do that. And then there's meats and cheeses and, vegetables and stuff. So then what it says is you get down to the bottom, it says, still, the doctor advises that ketogenic diets might be beneficial to some. It's proven weight loss is effective, especially helpful for obese people and people with epilepsy. And it produces D-quinolic acid. I don't know if I butchered that or not, which reduces seizures. So again, in the beginning, when you start to read, you get the first 3 paragraphs. It's telling you it's going to shorten your life and all this other stuff. And then you get down and it says, oh, well, by the way, it does work for people that are obese and people, so it does work.
I don't know if they're pushing that on actually. Let me look at the headline again. No one should be doing the ketogenic diet. Okay. But it works for those who need it. I mean, maybe they're just worried about people who supposedly are in the healthy range, who just like dieting and who want to try keto. I don't know. And I'm looking at the actual study that they're referencing. Low carbohydrate diets cause mortality. Like, that's the headline of that. Like, everything causes mortality. Water, oxygen. Have you heard the crazy theory? I don't know. Maybe you told me the crazy theory about how oxygen is killing us.
No, that one, I missed that one.
How oxygen is slowly killing us. And that's why antioxidants are like, oh, this great superfood. But like, oxygen is actually the thing that's killing us.
Well, I'll just say this to whoever said that oxygen is killing us. Try living without it.
Yeah.
Just try. I give you 5 minutes. Go. I think oxygen is one of the 3 that you need. Oxygen, water.
But what if
food.
oxygen is like slowly poisoning us? And that's why things with antioxidants are supposed to be really good for us, because we get the actual air we're breathing, but we're getting rid of some of the oxygen by just having some berries. I don't believe this, just so everyone knows.
Yes.
But it's fun. I like what Michelle said in the chat room, going back to
body shaming.
Yeah. She says, I'm a super well-adjusted woman just trying to get healthier. No comparisons, no size shame. She personally needs the tool. She's getting the surgery. And each has to find their own way and be happy. That's
right.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I applaud her for doing all that. She's been doing a great job. And when she gets done the surgery and she's off, I'm bringing her down here to the podcast dungeon. She's coming on an episode. I will not take no for an answer.
You've got to stop. I think you have to stop saying the podcast dungeon when you talk about having females come down there.
Oh, well. I'm not going to lie. It has been spruced up. A woman did come down here and spruce the place up. She did come down and organize it. So it's not as dungeony as it was
layer
before.
May be a worst word, but
Podcast layer. Yes. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Potato, in my opinion. All right. Why don't we get into some Winning Wednesdays?
Yay. Apparently I posted twice this week, but people were able to post in either one. And luckily, as I'm looking at them now, they're together. So, John, you talked about your win. You took a 4-day hiatus and you didn't go as crazy as you thought you would.
I know. I thought it was going to be like just constant chewing for 4 days, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. We had meals. There was no real snacking or anything like that. So it could have been worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We still have to weigh in.
Daniel has no idea how it happened, but he lost almost 8 pounds this week. That's amazing, Daniel.
That is a lot. There had to be something he did differently. I don't know what it would be, whether it was walking or cutting something out or not going. What I would do if I was you is I would retrace my steps for the past week and find out what happened and then continue to do that.
Can we give him a doo-doo?
Yeah, there we go. I was on it.
Deborah had a kart racing weekend over Labor Day and still lost weight. So usually when she travels, things go south. But victory this week, so good for you. Brendan has not had any type of drink with the word diet in it for almost a week. So besides green tea yesterday, 5 days and counting of water, which that's a huge thing. That's really big. And
right. I agree with you because that's what I'm starting to do. Maybe a little bit of lemon in it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, all those chemicals that they use for artificial sweeteners and stuff like that, no bueno.
The other thing with that is if you eat out a lot, that's one of the biggest things they mark up. When you look at how much it costs to actually take a soda from the fountain, it's pennies, and you're paying $2.50 at something like Olive Garden, probably, at least. And they're like, oh, free refills, but
yeah, and they pack it with ice. Absolutely, I agree with you there. Yes.
And then we have Summer, who says no sugar September is going well, and she's been feeling good and in control. And as she said in an earlier post, abstinence is easier than moderation for her. I agree 100%.
I agree.
If I have to give up something, I can't just, in moderation. It's like, no, cold turkey, it's got to go.
Right. One of my triggers is pizza, and we ordered pizza.
Yep.
And Sam had 2 slices, and I had the rest. So, yes, I understand. I cannot eat pizza. No.
When I quit smoking when I was pregnant with my daughter, I had to go full cold turkey. My doctor's like, well, you could just cut back until I'm like, no, I got to go absolute cold turkey. And then with my son, I was lucky because by that time I was vaping and actually my craving for the vape, like it made me sick and I ended up getting sick of it. So I was like, oh yeah, okay. Well,
there's that for that. There's a ta-da for that.
Yeah, well, I'm back to it now when I'm stressed. Like, oh my God, with my mom, it's just changed.
The house probably looked like it was on fire.
Yeah. So guys, great week. Fantastic winning Wednesdays. So many fun posts in the Facebook group. I don't know if I said this while we were recording, but so many great posts. Angel posted the amount of sugar in all these drinks. And of course, water has nothing. And Coca-Cola is the highest. And then Nestle,
a can of
and Red Bull.
Coca-Cola is like a small bag of sugar.
Oh my God. And that's more sugar than people 100 years ago probably had in a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people couldn't get sugar.
Yeah. Well, it used to be a seasoning. That was something that you sprinkled on things here and there.
You didn't put a cup in. You didn't have a cup. So, yes.
No, you guys did great this week. Good job.
All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
Some of us have been waiting for it. Some of us has been dreading this.
I've kind of been dreading it, but considering what I was at on Sunday when all the dust settled from dealing with my mom's debacle and seeing that number on the scale, I'm okay with today. I'm only up 1.
Wow, that is a ta-da.
Yeah.
Okay. And you went out of turn because it's an even week, but that's okay. I'll let you go.
Oh, okay. Well.
So I'm glad you
fine.
braced it. I'm up 10 pounds. 10 pounds. But then again, to be honest with you, I'm a big guy, so I fluctuate a lot like that.
Yeah.
I got on the scale and I was like, ugh. Not only do I have to wear a Blue Jays hat, I have to go say I gained 10 pounds. So I think I lost the 3 and then back to, so yes. So
maybe happiness weighs 9 pounds.
I'm not going to lie. That was 9 pounds of happiness that weekend. Yes. But then, now I will see you tomorrow because we are going to a podcast conference. We'll be in the same area. So again, we have the same issue of eating out and trying to stay in this diet window kind of thing. Although they'll have lunch, and they'll have dinner there. So we kind of can keep it in the window.
Yeah, and the other thing is you and I will be together, and Dave Jackson will be there. He's also intermittent fasting. If we could just sync up our windows, we'd be fine.
Right.
Is Jessica? Yeah.
Jessica Kupferman's going to be there. Yeah, so she'll be there. So, yeah, 4 of us will be there. So that'll be kind of cool.
She's the other one we have a sister show with, pretty much. Just brilliant observations.
Yes, that's true. Well, I'm on that one too. Yes. Like I said, I knew there was going to be damage. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I thought maybe 5. 10 pounds was like, holy crap. But,
Annette goes, if that's so, I must be very happy.
Yeah, not that I don't like being happy. And again, I wouldn't trade it for the world. So, we had a great time, next time. And the other thing is too, with Sam and I, we started talking about, both of our health and things. And I said, one of the things, if doing this I'll be 57 next month, doing this now, if anybody's like late 40s, mid 40s, it happens fast. When I was 50 years old, I could move and run and climb steps and do all this. You go down fast. So my thing is that if you're thinking about it now, don't wait. Jump on, get some support. You can't do it by yourself. Continue to strive to live a healthier lifestyle, because when you lose your mobility, you really do lose a lot of joy in your life. And it's just a snowball. So if I could preach anything from this, is that start now. It's better now than later.
Yep.
All right. That was some Johnspiration.
Johnspiration.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to Hate to Wait. For more information, you can visit hatetowait.com for show notes and links to anything we talked about in today's episode. And if you'd like to join us on our journey, we would love to have you. Come be part of the Hate to Wait discussion group on Facebook by going to hatetowait.com/Facebook. Emily, I have some ground to make up. So this week will be all hands on deck.
All right.
Back to the grind.
Guys, if you're in the Facebook group with us, let's help John out. Let's give him some Johnspiration right back.
All right, everybody. We will talk to you next week.
Bye.